Hi folks, Joseph Kursky here with you to talk about investigating the world's 27 largest cities using a 3D globe. Now in another video I talk about the value of and show examples of using 3D scenes and globes with the ArcGIS platform in instruction and research. So go ahead and see that video for some background as to why I think this is so compelling, valuable, useful, and so on for education. Student learning, student engagement, have them using technology in meaningful ways, but also to have them investigate some of the key issues, problems, and situations in our 21st century world. Certainly urbanization and cities are one of those issues that we need to grapple with and deal with. This particular video is going to be focused on the 27 largest cities using a 3D globe. And it's a fascinating globe, as you can see here. One of my colleagues developed this based on the ArcGIS platform, and it's ready to go, ready for you to teach with. So as you can see here, I've got the ability to interact with the globe here. Now, at a very basic, simple level, I've got the ability to go all the way around the world in this globe, okay? And as you can see, let me scoot this down a bit. This is all running in a web browser. Okay, and I'm going to provide the URL for you right here. But it's in a web browser, so any device, anytime. Lots of advantages there. So, like other web mapping applications, it's assembled, okay? Now, in the ArcGIS platform, you can add other data to it, like sea level change and biomes, ecoregions, natural hazards, and so on. This particular application, it is set up as is. So, you cannot add anything or modify it in any way. However, by itself, it makes a wonderful teaching tool. So as I interact with this, some of the questions that I pose are, okay, what continents strike you as having no cities in this top list? Well, Oceania seems to be sort of sparse on the 27 largest, but maybe some of these patterns surprise you, maybe some of them do not. But again, even for those of you teaching in the USA, there's only one city on here. As I talk about in other videos and in essays of mine, be critical of the data. Where did the data come from? Who created it? So there is some metadata associated with this, and I invite you to examine that. Looking at this globe, some things come to mind that you might want to pose to your students. The data for this globe uses the city population and not the whole metropolitan area, so that might be something that you introduce. When is the city a smallish part of the whole metropolitan area? When is it the largest part of the whole metropolitan area, and so on? But does it surprise you that none of the world's 27 largest cities are, for example, in Australia? And very few of them actually are in the southern hemisphere. So ask your students, okay, count. You've got a degree grid on here. Count how many cities are in the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere. What about the eastern versus the western? So you've also got the lines of longitude on here, and one of them actually is the prime meridian, which is this one right here that I'm drawing, that I'm showing. Okay, so count the number of cities in each hemisphere, count the number of cities in each continent. Which countries have more than one of these large cities? And if so, why does it matter that China and India, for example, have so many of these? Also, what's the closest in this list to where you live? Okay? So lots of things you can do with this wonderful 3D globe of the world's largest cities. Again, ask the students, okay, hypothesize which are the largest, where are they, and then have them go to this application. And then, okay, which cities that are not currently in this top 27 list now will be in 50 years? Which cities, and do a little bit of research on this, were in the top 27 100 years ago? It's not the exact same list as what we have here. Some are the same, but some are certainly different. So lots of things you can do either in 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in your classroom, or you could turn this into a couple of class periods lesson, and also explore other globes as I explain in other videos using the ArcGIS platform from Esri. Thanks, and start exploring.